The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Well, hello and welcome, everybody. It is a Wednesday for the Bostonian versus the book. Dave Sharapan, the book. Matt Perrault, the Bostonian, live on YouTube, live on Twitter, and we will welcome in B. Howe in a little bit. Brad Howe from West Virginia will stop on by.
Yes, he will.
Last day, Dave. I got two baseball bets going on right now. We'll talk about in a second. Last day.
Last day for what?
Of having to bet baseball. I get 5 consecutive football days.
It's not, I know, but it's not the last day that you're gonna bet baseball.
Oh, it's one of. It's one of. It's going to be very good because once we get through the long weekend, it's into. I got to bet Tuesday, and then kind of Wednesday, and then I got Thursday football. I got Friday football. I got Saturday football. I got Sunday football. I got Monday football. Swing it all the way.
You're gonna find a baseball bet here or there,
there.
Yeah,
but I'm like today. When I have nothing to bet but baseball, and I have no choice but to bet baseball.
There's only 4 games tomorrow, I think.
Thank gosh.
Oh no, there's some more.
It's Thursday, but I've got football.
Traveled.
I got 3 games I'm betting tomorrow on football. This is great. We're all good. I'm 3-0 so far in college football. Let's go. Off to a good start. Haven't got an L yet in college football. Let's go. Tomorrow,
right?
We roll.
Tomorrow.
So we'll talk some college football coming up with B. Howe. Before we get to what happened last night, we have 2 games going on right now in Major League Baseball. I am on the run line for the Orioles.
4-2 right now.
Top 2.
Yep.
Open up a 4-0 lead. They gave up 2-0, 2 runs to the White Sox. And I'm on the run line for the Phillies. Plus 130 on the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 118 on the Orioles.
Now would be a good time to probably go bet the Phillies in game as they're down, right? They're down 2-0.
Not anymore because it just locked. It's 2-1, bases loaded, 1 out. So my guess is they just got a bunch of runs.
Just tried to just jump in there, and it's really you got to be fast. You got to be quick.
Later. So
yeah, but they've been trailing both games against the Angels before.
Yes.
So and they came back, and wow, they're now backed up minus 240. Thanks for coming. There we go.
and the total that was 11.5.
11.5. Yeah.
Schwarber's up with the bases loaded right now for Philadelphia
with only 1 out.
Against Detmers. So, that's looking good for the offense. The Orioles offense just won't quit. The White Sox actually scored a couple of runs, which is kind of remarkable. I have 1 more run line going. I decided to bet all run lines today. So I'm going out with a bang. All plus money.
You're not going out. You'll be betting baseball by next week. You probably take the weekend off. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You'll be all in with the football.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday. 5 straight days with no baseball.
I don't believe you.
5 straight, no baseball.
You literally told everybody yesterday that it was the end of the Red Sox.
Yes, I was right. Gorov, what an unbelievable performance.
Absolute must shout out Gorov for the trumpet playing. Will, super producer, Will, for putting together the short so fast, turned it around. You tweeted it. I tweeted it. You posted it on the YouTube channel, which you should be subscribing to already and liking the videos and the show when we do it live. That was amazing. Awesome. How many times did you watch it? Seriously, how many times?
To the point where Madeline told me to stop watching it. She was pissed off.
I did the same thing. I waited until everybody was downstairs. And I started to play it.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you doing over there? You have to see this video. Watch this video. And got a little smile from
I laugh every time.
Kendall. That was good.
Goodness
She's like,
gracious.
that was actually really good.
2-run home run White Sox.
Bam, it's 4-4, just like that.
Not 2-2 now, Phillies, though. My
Okay.
goodness. Both games have 15.5 live number for the Orioles and the White Sox, 11.5 live number for the Angels and the Phillies.
Yeah.
15.5. Hello. Orioles
Um,
are going to stop scoring. That means that's good.
It's one of those games. This day baseball midweek is just like Sunday baseball, Perrault. Sometimes
Wonky.
it's a wonky. Good word. Yeah.
Mhm.
You guys also commenting on the show after, doing a great job there. The
Thank you.
Brigade has answered the bell for that.
Yep.
Participating in the Discord channel, which is what again?
BVBshow.com.
All over that. We did the SiriusXM announcement
Yep.
for next week. That starts.
Yep.
You'll be able to find us there. And then the comments in the chat have been outstanding. Like if you're listening to the show and you can't listen live or watch live, try to do your best at some point in the next couple days before we really get into football season and we have the guests lining up and we have the people coming in the door to watch the show, listen to the show. We really appreciate all of you.
For sure. So yeah, that's happening next Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Pacific time. We start on SiriusXM channel 159 for the replay for the show. So if you do have XM, bookmark that channel 159, which is SiriusXM's Sports Grid channel. So you guys will get us on the replay on TV and on radio, simulcasted both. So if you're watching for some reason, you have to run out, you want to keep listening to the show, put it on SiriusXM, you got it both. So same show, same breaks, same structure.
I have to ask you, everybody in the chat's asking, and
what's up?
I was taking multiple texts last night. Are you a jinx?
Am I a jinx?
Are you a jinx?
Am I a jinx? There's no fucking thing as a jinx.
Wait a second. You didn't even say sorry, Will.
I don't say sorry, Will. I just say we have to say it emphatically so Will knows when we swear. I have to say sorry. And I'm not saying sorry for that swear word. I'm not saying sorry for tweeting out there was a no-hitter. I'm not saying sorry for anything because there is no such thing.
You brought Zinno into it. All these people on Twitter.
Because Zinno's on there because you guys, we've all been on Sports Grid together talking about when no-hitters are happening. And I say no-hitter, 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 no-hitter. And it doesn't matter.
Stop saying it while it's happening.
There's no mush. There's no jinx. There's no superstition. It's a bunch of malarkey. It's a bunch of nonsense. Means nothing. What I say
on cue, 2 outs in the ninth after you said it.
Boom. If you're giving me that much power, if I have that much power,
yes.
Thank you. I'll take the He-Man sword Skeletor takedown. I'll do it all. You want it? I'll take it. Okay. If Matt Perrault controls the universe, if this world spins on the axis that I decide when it spins and where it spins, I'm in love with the world. But you're giving me a lot of power that I do not have.
People in the chat right now.
Yeah.
BVB Brigade, which is building every single day. There's people voting. Sonic just recognized. Shout out to SoCal DGen for putting together the voting in the Discord for the NFL season.
We'll explain that later. Yes.
I know, but all this stuff is going on.
Yes.
I'm going to ask the people right now watching the show. Is Perrault a jinx?
That's fine. They can believe that, but they also, the same ones might believe that black cats are bad luck and that Friday the 13th means something.
Black cats are bad luck. What the hell are you talking about?
I had a black cat my whole life growing up. This black cats mean nothing. My father was born on Friday the 13th. It means nothing, although it might mean something for him. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. Broken mirrors mean nothing. Walking under ladders means nothing. Open up an umbrella inside your damn house means nothing. All of this stuff is malarkey. It's junk. It's nonsense. This whole idea of someone being a mush. Oh, I can't bet with this person. He's a mush. Oh, you can't call it a no-hitter. That's a mush. It's the dumbest stuff ever. We are analytical people. We are smart people. We're supposed to look at a football game and break it down differently than John, the drunk at the end of the bar. And if you're telling me that John at the end of the bar, the drunk there, he's like, I'm on that thing. Okay, that guy's a mush. Oh, I can't be on the side of that guy. What? It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense.
Arctic just came in the chat and said, Matt, you did it for the no-hitter. You took down Cobb. You did it with the Angels. You took down them. I mean, what the hell? You buried the Red Sox yesterday. You told everybody that. They'll probably go on an 8-game losing streak. You're conflating
things that have nothing to do with each other. Absolutely zero. The Red Sox go and win the wild card spot because I said it wasn't going to happen. That's awesome. I'll own that. That's great. But
you'll be singing that Dirty Water song and all that other
it's
crap.
true.
JC from KC said he just said #sorry, Will, but Perrault is a fucking jinx.
That's fine. I'll own it. Thank you. I've got that much power. Really? That's awesome. That's so cool. If I am that powerful, if you guys all live in the world that I control, you're fucked. That's great. It's awesome. I love this. This is phenomenal. Can we always have this? Does that work out in like other things? Should I like walk into banks and like make transactions that automatically are going to go in my favor? I mean, I did just have a pretty crazy one that happened about 2 days ago that I still can't believe happened. So, I mean,
when we went to get the wire at the circuit, that one.
Oh, you kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't know how in the world I got a 5-figure bounce, but I got a 5-figure bounce that was just handed to me out of nowhere. So,
oh yeah, that one. No,
so I mean,
talking about that one.
We're not talking about. I'm just saying that happened. So, I mean, I guess I actually am running kind of hot at the moment, but you guys are in a lot of trouble. If I have the power to control whether or not Alex Cobb, me sitting in Las Vegas, whether he gives up a hit or not, pitching in San Francisco. Wow. I mean, you're talking about how like, you know, the butterfly effect. It's pretty good. That's pretty damn good, man. I got a lot of clout. I appreciate everyone who thinks that I've got that much power. But yes, if I have the power, let's go. What else can I do? Can I get the Orioles to win by 2? Can I guarantee that?
I don't know now. I mean, now that you keep talking about it, but jeez.
4-4-2-2. I need the Phillies win by 2 and the Orioles win by 2, and we're good. Let's do it both.
Sounds like a split at this point.
Oh, that's okay. Then I got the late game going tonight, and we'll go 2-1, and I'm all good. Yeah, plus money on all 3 bets. Let's go.
All right,
I'm all in on it. You ready for B?
Roger Long just said that you did bet on the Steelers in the preseason, so that was good. So maybe you're not total jinx.
The dumbest. You guys are smart people. You look at numbers. You're gamblers.
Are they? Our brigade guys, are you smart people?
They are. They're smarter. A gambler is smarter than the average sports fan. It's true.
Really?
It is. Yes. A gambler.
Skeletor or He-Man? What did you? Skeletor?
I have the power over Skeletor. Yeah, I have the
over
power.
Skeletor. You're not Skeletor.
No, again,
nobody likes Skeletor.
Take I have the power. You go ahead and get the whatever the hell that sword was called, and he put up the sky.
Clown MB3 just said, well, now we need to live bet the Angels and the White Sox.
Go ahead. Hit them both. That would be great. Go right ahead. I mean, if you think we as gamblers understand that what we say, what we bet, and what we do has no impact on the game. None.
Some gamblers don't want to tempt the gambling gods.
Some gamblers I want to put up against a wall and smack them around. Be like, use your damn brain. You sit here for 8 hours a day staring at a damn computer, and you think that some dude in some place says something that's going to fuck up your bet. Are you kidding me? What is wrong with you? Like, seriously, what's the point? Why don't you just do this? If you believe that, you should literally flip a coin every single time you want to make a bet. Flip a coin, because that's what you're telling me. That the universe can determine all these things, all of the work I'm doing, all the research, all the conversations I'm having. Doesn't matter. Flip a coin. Need to go 50. Need to go 6 out of 10. Flipping the coin. Nonsense.
Take a deep breath. We got to get B Howe in here quickly. He's on the clock.
Oh, he is. Okay.
No, he's not on the clock, but he's got shows to do later. He's got pickup after school. Oh,
hold on, real quick.
Put him in the big square.
There we go.
Put him in the big square.
What's up, my friend? How are you? Welcome back.
Hello, boys.
Good to see you, Brad.
Hello, guys. Great to be back. Love when Matt is on a rant. Unfortunately, that was very entertaining. Unfortunately, I'm on Sharapan's side. I was just now listen, former college baseball player. I still coach. I can't. Matt, you're ultimately right, but I can't side with you. I was at a minor league game on Saturday, a no into the 6th. We're all elbowing and talking, not saying it, elbowing. All of a sudden, a daughter of one of my buddies in front said, well, what am I looking at? The guy's throwing a no-hitter, so what? Boom, hit came right after that. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
See,
Matt.
So if I say it on Twitter, but 20 other accounts, including numerous sports betting accounts, all alert everybody. No hitter, no hitter. Bottom line, ESPN, no hitter, no hitter. Who ultimately is to blame? Who's the jinx then?
You.
Me? Just because I'm more powerful than all of them.
A lot of juice with you, Matt. A lot of juice.
Oh, damn. Okay. I'll take that crown. Let's go. All right. Let's go.
All right. We've got a lot of things to talk about, B. How, by the way, the beard looks exceptional right now. You really
Thank you, sir.
working
Thank
the
you.
whole
Preseason
thing.
form.
This
Yeah,
is
right.
outstanding. First off, so I reach out and we'll get to the Penn State West Virginia thing because I know you've done a deep dive into that because you talk about West Virginia and sports every day back home. But can you tell us a little bit about this backup quarterback for the Bears? He just made the team. Perrault put it in the rundown before you and I spoke. Him and I are ham and egging on all this other stuff. I said, you're not going to believe this. B. Howe has some insight into a kid who played at what Shepherd University? Is it
Tyson Bagdon.
Bagent.
Bagent,
is how you say it.
sorry.
Tyson Bagent. Yeah, and Matt's on it. I mean, that's the story of the NFL yesterday on Cutdown Day, guys. Undrafted free agent signed by the Bears, didn't just make the roster, but he's sitting there as QB2 right now. I realize they're going to sign a veteran in there to bring some help in, but the guy's outstanding. So I'll give you some quick background here before we get into Penn State and West Virginia. He's from Martinsburg, West Virginia, which is about as big a football factory as West Virginia has. They were on a recent 10-year streak where they won 8 state titles. They've been outstanding. They just roll through everybody. But normally in that situation, they have not produced a ton of Division I guys, as the state of West Virginia doesn't in general. And when the state produces Division I guys, it's generally linemen that have some size. In fact, West Virginia's got 3 of them on its starting 5 offensive linemen right now. But skill position guys, you see a lot of talented football players in the state, but generally it's the size that gets them. Well, Bagent wasn't that way. He was 6'3", could throw it in high school, was absolutely dominant, set every record, won Player of the Year awards, yet didn't get any recruiting offers. West Virginia flirted. Marshall flirted. Those are his words. Talked to him a little bit, but no real firm offers. Albany and Robert Morris were his 2 offers coming out of high school, which is amazing because the guy could flat out play. So he goes to Shepherd University, a Division II school right near his hometown of Martinsburg, and just flat lights it up for 4 years. He won the Harlan Hill Award, the Division II Heisman, his junior season, and then guys entered the transfer portal. And that was very interesting. He hit the portal, and West Virginia went hard after him. WVU wanted him this last summer, before last season, to come in and be the quarterback. However, Bagent decides he's going to stay at Shepherd. My guess in that had a lot to do with that West Virginia couldn't guarantee him a starting position, and he wasn't going to make that move if he wasn't guaranteed a starting position. So he says, you know what, guys, I already have NFL scouts looking at me. I'm going to go back to Shepherd. He lit it up again, had another unbelievable season, and then you saw what happened. He has a great pro day. He caught some steam behind him, and then a wonderful preseason. He ends up a Chicago Bear. So it's a great story of perseverance and getting through, but there's a little sidelight story to this too, and I encourage people to go back and Google this or get on Twitter or X and find this, because there was a neat video put out yesterday, and it highlights the other part of the Bagent story, which is pretty funny. His dad is a 20-time world champion arm wrestler. And he's outstanding on the mic. He is a WWE type of character. He's incredibly fun to listen to, and an arm wrestler, and has been Tyson's whole life. So he grew up watching that. So it's a really fun, neat story. All of us here in West Virginia are pulling for the kid. And here's the thing, guys, undrafted out of that Division II school, he's a flat out hell of a football player. Watch for him. I think he's got a chance to actually make an impact in the NFL.
Would you pick him up in a fantasy draft as a backup plan?
No, you can't do that. Now, don't get too crazy. No, you can't do that.
What are you talking about? Here's the question, though, Brad, because I can't figure this out. So he goes to the combine. He's undrafted rookie coming out. He goes to senior day. His name being Bagent, it's a B. So on the senior day alphabetical roster, he's right at the top. He was working out before all the big names came behind him. So the scouts were there to watch the other guys, and they started to go, who is this kid who threw for 159 touchdowns, which broke the record for touchdown passes across all Division I, all 3 levels of D1 football? He broke them all. He goes to camp. He wins the job. They cut the veterans. He stays there. But how did he not get recruited? This is what's so strange to me, because was there baggage? Was there grade problems? Like, a kid this size with this type of talent normally doesn't stay at Division II for very long.
Yeah, I agree, and I wish I had a better answer for you. I don't. I did his state championship game back, and somebody can fact check me. I don't even remember the year, but during that game at halftime, the Martinsburg coaches were right next to me. I mean, they're 6 feet away from me in a booth. Before the game, I said to them, I said, what's the deal with Bajent? Why aren't there more offers here? I'm not an NFL scout, but that's a Division I quarterback. Size, arm, can make all the throws. He's got it. Someone's not taking a chance on him, and yet they didn't. And he was the guy that likes that area. He wanted to stay close to home, and he just figured Shepherd was the place that he could go light it up and get to where he was going. Again, I mentioned he entered the transfer portal after his junior year to look around, but I think at that point, if you're not guaranteed a job in a system that you know you can thrive in, I think he made a smart move. There was already talk of him when he won the Harlan Hill Award. There were scouts at every one of those Shepherd's games. They absolutely knew who Tyson Bajent was. So he needed a perfect situation to move from Shepherd, and frankly didn't get it, went back and lit it up, and there's his path. But Matt, you're right. That's 100% miss on basically every Division I school out there not named Alabama or Ohio State, because the kid can flat play, as you can see.
Wow. All right, swing it to the school in West Virginia and the game that they have coming up against Penn State. And we've talked so many times about Penn State. Matt's on their season wins over 9.5. As the White Sox go ahead 5-4. He's not a jinx. I'm praying he's not a jinx. I don't want him to be a jinx. Really. Keep saying it. You're killing me. But B. Howe, what are you looking at for the West Virginia game for Penn State? Because the original plan was I was going to come back, pick you up. We were going to get in a car, drive, tell the wives we were good. You drive. I just sit in the passenger seat. That's 100% happening. How's this game breaking down? What's going to happen?
All right, let's dive in here. And first of all, the biggest dog of the day is you wearing Orioles, not Penn State stuff. I am absolutely stunned. You've got a 3-touchdown favorite, and you're not decked out in all blue and white. So that's a major upset win.
It's Ravens Day today on the show. We're breaking down the Ravens season wins. I will not wear the Ravens stuff unless completely forced through. I conceded for my man Kevin, the supervisor at the Circa, who's a diehard Baltimore guy, and wore the Orioles stuff. That's why.
Fair enough. I thought you'd bring it at me, though, since we always go back and forth on Penn State.
We're a huge favorite. There's no chance that West Virginia's going to go in there and even cover the spread, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, hold on here. You want to try and build a little bit of a case here? I'll say, let's just start here. Matt's over win total. Matt, I like that pick too. I think Penn State is flat out loaded. They should be in every discussion about Big Ten contenders, national title contenders. They are absolutely loaded at every position in Happy Valley at night. First game of the season against a West Virginia team that has a ton of questions. So you're right. I don't know that there's any way West Virginia can walk in and get a win over the world champion Nittany Lions. It's an impossible situation. Here's the thing, Dave, you've been around a long time. West Virginia has gone in there with really loaded teams and hasn't been able to get a win. I mean, you're talking since the 50s, since it happened. So this is a huge challenge. West Virginia has a ton of question marks going into this season. Its win total is suppressed. The national narrative is that this team is not going to be very good and that Neil Brown's on the hot seat. So to start with, the talent gap seems pretty massive here in this case. Here's the thing that you look for if you're West Virginia and you're trying to cover the spread. Because I think if you're the Mountaineers, you go in and listen, WVU was not built on moral victories. But this is one of those cases where you need to get out of there with a moral victory and not get crushed, because you've got a heck of a tough September coming up with Pitt right around the corner, by the way. So if I'm West Virginia and I go in with a first-time starting quarterback or a new starting quarterback, he started a couple games last year in Garrett Green, that's where this all starts. And you're getting a defense that I think is not only the best West Virginia will see all season, it might be the best defense in the country. They're loaded at every level. They've got a pass rusher that's elite. They've got linebackers that are elite. They've got 2 cover corners that are outstanding. So West Virginia scoring points in this game, I think, is going to be really difficult. I can't imagine West Virginia can get up over 17 points in this particular game. So let's start there. You like team total under? You already want to go that way?
Yeah. Team total under. I mean, the total in the game's 50.5. The spread is up to 20.5. There's nobody that's taking the Mountaineers plus the points.
Yeah. I don't you think the number goes higher? Does it get up to 3 touchdowns before kickoff?
Oh, somebody's testing the waters. I mean,
yeah, I think it does too.
South
I think at
Point
that point
has here in Vegas, and that's the way it's going. Yes.
If it's that point, I might have to take a little piece of West Virginia at that point. And here's the hope if you're trying to build that narrative for West Virginia as a dog at a 3-touchdown dog. On the offensive side of the ball, and I'm nitpicking here because I think Penn State's loaded on both sides of the ball. But if I'm going to nitpick, there's a couple areas offensively that Penn State has to show you. One, the talented Drew Aller is supposedly getting the start. James Franklin won't announce that he's starting, but everybody thinks Drew Aller's starting. Flat out stud, right? Makes every throw. He's got everything you want. Size, arm, can throw from every arm angle. Outstanding. The offensive line, maybe a little bit of a question here for Penn State. They've got a top 10 pick at left tackle. The rest of their line has played a ton. They've got a lot of experience, a lot of games played. But if you go by the PFF grades or talk to people around that program, they need to see some improvement and some step forward from everybody else along that line. Now, West Virginia's defensive line has a ton of questions with it, so maybe that neutralizes out and they're still fine. Wide receiver for Penn State. They lost a bunch of guys. They're putting some transfers in place, some new guys at receiver. Is that receiving core ready to go and make big, consistent plays? The challenge, though, for West Virginia to keep it close, we know about those two running backs. You've been telling me about Nick Singleton now since he was in high school.
Ruby was telling us about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, as advertised. 1,000-yard rusher last year. 750 of those 1,000 yards came after contact. So he's a dude. 75% of his yards come after contact. So West Virginia is smallish defensively, especially linebacker and safety. They come down against a Penn State line that has some size, some good tight ends, big tight ends. If I'm Penn State, I am running, and then I'm running some more to set up the play action, which is part of why, Dave, I think you've seen that total come down from 53.5 down to 50.5. West Virginia's strength is on the offensive line. 3 really talented potential pros on the offensive line, a couple other guys mixed in, all 5 starters returning, a mobile quarterback for the first time under Neil Brown. West Virginia wants to run it as well. So if they have some success on the ground and Penn State does, you may see some limited possessions here.
I like the under of that game for sure. Also with the clock. What do you make of that after week 0? Because if folks don't know this, and you should know this, you're betting football this weekend, the clock is not stopping after a first down. This is the NFL rule where the clock will stop. Well, kind of. It's a hybrid NFL rule because the clock stops after a first down inside of 2 minutes of either half. The NFL doesn't do that. Did you feel like the games were faster? Unders went 4-3.
They did
in the first week of college football. Do you think that gets, continued, or is offenses going to come back to life when the better offenses are on the field?
It makes sense that it should matter, right? Except those folks that crunched those numbers found it shaved 3 minutes off the game time overall. So did it really affect? It came out to 5 or 6 plays per team. So no, I think the answer really is it's negligible at this point, which is a small sample size. I get it, but I think it's negligible, Matt.
Yeah, the books overreacted with all their numbers. Like, for instance, I've been talking about this all summer, but Drake May's numbers. Last year, he threw for 4,300 yards for North Carolina. He lost 2 receivers to the NFL, but he's got 3 really good ones to throw to. He could be the first pick in the draft. His number went from 4,300 down to 3,150 because of the rule change. Like, that's insanity. Like, 1,200-yard difference. I thought it was a complete overreaction by the sports books, and I think we're going to quickly, after week 1, realize that it's not going to be that big of a difference.
Yeah, and I think teams that want to play tempo are just going to pick it up a little bit, and they're going to get up to the line of scrimmage, and they're going to snap the ball, and they're going to adjust too. So I'm with you. Until I see differently, just going off that week 0 numbers, I don't think it's a big deal at this point. But I think in this particular game, the under's absolutely the way you have to look. Now, the fear, when you're holding that under ticket, the fear is going to be those 2 running backs from Penn State. If they could bust off a 53-yard or a 65-yard long run at any moment. So both, if you're on the dog side with West Virginia and the under, you're just holding your breath that West Virginia can get guys to the ground once they make contact with Allen or Singleton.
Yeah, big plays. If there's big plays in this game, that's the recipe for the game going over. West Virginia's run game is going to take a step on the next level. Tyler Wyatt in the chat just said that they have top 2 Big 12 potential running back offensive line combination. His projected number is 18, so it's going to fall right around the number.
Real quick, let me give you 2 numbers here, though, Dave, to back that up. Number 1,
are you doing this PFF, all this other? Are you deep into the weeds, like you like to say, where you're doing all this research, and now you have to show me all of the things that you like to
I did, but I won't bore you guys with that. I'll do that on our own show. I won't give you all that. I'm just going to give you a number if you like the under. So went back over the last 30 games, okay? Last 30 games for Penn State. When they've had a total of 53.5 or lower, 53, and I did that number because that's where it started. 53 and a half or lower when being a 20-point favorite at home. They're 1-6. It's 1-6 against the spread.
That's not
Penn State is. So if you like the dog side,
this is a totally different Penn State team than we've seen.
Tell them.
I kind of would throw that out the window and say this is not the same Penn State team that we've seen in years past. I have a question I want to ask you about West Virginia though, because we talked to Chris Williams, who, like you, covers one school very closely. Chris is an Iowa State guy.
Right.
It's been a horrible summer for him. He said it's been absolutely awful for the gambling scandal, but also because of realignment and what the Big 12 is going to look like. Who is going where, who is joining what conference. How does West Virginia feel about their current stature? And do they think that they may be looking to either move, stay, or are they okay with their current position in the Big 12?
Yeah, so a couple ways to unpack that, and I'll answer it this way. No, they're not looking to move right now because, quite frankly, the Big 12 is now the third most stable conference. The ACC is the one that has been thrown into chaos. Are they adding? Are they not? What's Florida State doing? Does Miami want out? What's Clemson doing? So, no, West Virginia feels comfortable in its setting. The Big 12 has been very good for West Virginia, not just because it threw it a life raft when the Big East exploded, but because up until this latest round of expansion, these schools are all very similar. They're not even remotely close to West Virginia in geography, but other than that, they're really the same place. Kansas State, Iowa State, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, go right down the list. Schools and fan bases very like-minded to West Virginia. So it's actually been a really good fit for WVU outside of the obvious geography, which has been a mess, and it's a really difficult spot to be in. Now you're adding UCF in, you're adding Cincinnati, which is great for West Virginia because it's a close rival that you've been in a conference with before. That's excellent. As far as adding in the West Coast teams, it's kind of guys from a West Virginia perspective. Okay, that's fine. And that's no disrespect to any of those teams, but it's just further away from WVU. So the realignment discussion from a West Virginia side of things is simply this. If it stabilizes the Big 12, if it means the Big 12 can last and West Virginia is not left outside looking in like an Oregon State or Washington State, then realignment is good and fine, and the Big 12 made a good move to stabilize itself. Outside of that, it's kind of a shoulder shrug when you talk about the schools that have come in.
Would they block Pitt joining the Big 12?
No, there's a couple schools of thought, and I think the short answer is no, because it brings back an obvious rival that is close, and you'd love to play that game every single year, which is now back on the schedule. So no, I think that they would welcome that. There's a lot of fans that say, hey, listen, screw Pitt, screw Syracuse, screw Boston College, and the whole ACC. They left and didn't want us. We don't want them. They can die on the vine. They can be left out. They can get sent to a group of 5. But cooler heads would prevail. Yeah, if Pitt was available, that'd be great. And I think, listen, this is me talking. This is my opinion. But if there was a way, if we were going to get even bigger conferences and the ACC does continue to be unstable, if you could bring a North Carolina State, even a Wake Forest, a Syracuse, a Pitt back into the Big 12 fold, break that thing off into 2 pods or division, and now West Virginia is part of more of an East Coast division of the Big 12, that might be the ideal situation. That's obviously pie in the sky. There's no indication that that's in the forefront. But when it comes to realignment, Dave, what's your line? What do you like to say all the time?
Nobody knows shit.
Yes, and that's 100% true, guys. I'll give you a real quick story, then we'll get out of here. This is a quick story on conference realignment the last time it happened. I was still in the athletic department at WVU. We were playing a game at Maryland. I'm in the press box. There was a meeting happening. The Big East commissioner was there at the time. There was a meeting taking place, a call with all the athletic directors. The decision makers went into a room and got on a call. The West Virginia representative walked out into the hallway. I was standing there. I said, how are we? Everything good? We okay? He looked at me and said, everything's fine. Nobody's leaving. We're all good. 2 hours later, the Big East collapsed. So the person in the room did not know what was happening because of all the lies being told. So, Dave, your line, I laugh every time you say it. It's 100% true in most situations. When it comes to conference realignment, it's the ultimate nobody knows.
Oh, my God. Can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
Howe, where are you from originally?
West Des Moines, Iowa.
Have you ever heard of anyone having a petition to ban them from being on the airwaves anywhere, let alone in Des Moines, Iowa, ever in your life?
Not that I recall.
Okay.
That would be my honor.
This guy, the non-jinx, used to do the radio in Iowa.
Yeah,
and
I knew that.
blaze the trail of glory. We're going to go back because we had Chris Williams on from Iowa Everywhere and all these other things. And I know you grew up there. Can you just tell the people who are watching, like the Iowa people, they're nice people.
I told you what Iowa Nice was. You didn't believe
Salt
me.
of the earth. Salt of the earth. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's Iowa Nice. It's real.
Iowa Nice. Tell Pete B. Howe, because B. Howe will tell you if this is true or not. What is Iowa Nice, Matthew?
He knows this. Iowa Nice is what people call the way Iowa people are to other people. They're just nice people. It's a brand that they love to push, and it got popular about 10 years ago. Iowa Nice.
Is this true, B. Howe?
Very nice. Tremendous people. Tremendous people.
Iowa State.
You
Iowa
need to go back and go to a game in
Iowa.
Iowa City or go to a game
That's
in Ames.
true.
You'll see
He
it.
does.
It's wonderful.
does.
They're both great venues.
Is
They are.
Northern Iowa going to win the game against Iowa State the first week?
Everyone's so mad at
I
me.
can't imagine, but I mean, Iowa State now, you know, UNI is traditionally a really good FCS program. They have had a lot of high points. Iowa State's a little bit of a mess right now. What are they doing? How many people are playing? Who's quarterbacks? My guy Rocco Becht quarterbacking. What are they doing? I can't imagine Iowa State loses the game.
Quarterback? Is that your guy?
That's our guy. His dad is a former West Virginia tight end, was a first-round draft pick of the New York Jets, played in the league for a long time. He's now the head coach of the St. Louis Battlehawks, one of my very good friends. His name is Anthony Becht. So, yeah, his son is Rocco, and West Virginia was on Rocco Becht. They liked him a lot, ended up going with a backup that's here, a four-star out of Arizona named Nico Marchiol, who's still here at West Virginia but did not win the starting job. Instead of Rocco chose to go to Iowa State, and he's in position to start.
Dave, we may need to talk to his friend because AJ McCarron, that story with the Battlehawks was so damn good last year with him, the quarterback. Remember we talked about it, about what he was doing, about him wanting to play for his sons. He didn't care about the money. I mean, because I made enough money. Just want to play football for my sons to be able to watch me play football. I'm a big fan of that team. Big fan.
You should, Matt. You should have Anthony on. Then he's a former ESPN commentator as well. He does. He still does New York Jets preseason games on TV with Ian Eagle, but he was an ESPN college football analyst for a number of years as well. So he's not only a great dude, he's a heck of a coach. Had a great year last year as a head coach, but he's a wonderful interview. Great on the mic.
Well, you're wonderful too, sir. Thank you for the time. You're always welcome back here whenever we can have you. Thank you. Enjoy the first weekend of college football. It should be a lot of fun.
Thank you, guys. You're the best. Thanks for having me.
That one, Mr. Brad Howe joining us here. B. Howe on the program. Let me get everything rolling here.
See how he does that? He talks them up like they can't lose. They this, that. He gets me nervous when he does that.
Why?
Because I feel like he's doing it and he's just giving me the business and he can't wait for them to lose. And then he goes, "Oh, I'm shocked they lost," and all this other stuff. So, but we've spent a lot of time together. He's the best. He's the absolute best.
Good stuff.
As Baltimore Trail 7-5.
How about that game? 18.5 is the live total. That game's in the third inning. I got a lot of time to get some runs back, which is good. But my gosh, if you want to bet the Orioles right now, they are plus 150 on the money line. It is currently, the Phillies are minus 330 right now it's 2-2, but they've got 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the fourth inning. Both those games are going to be football scores.
Look at this little thing below us. Who in the world would bet, like Wetzel says on Sports Grid, bet American money on the Angels now, tomorrow, ever, the rest of the season?
Ever. So they're currently 12.5 games out of a wild card spot. So it doesn't matter what happens in the next 2 days. They can win, and the teams are chasing can all lose, and they're going to wind up 10.5 games out at best on the 1st of September. So we were right. I was right where we were. 10 games that they should have traded Ohtani, that they were going to wind up way out. And then yesterday, including Lucas Giolito and 5 other players, they literally waved the white flag and just said, 6 players, goodbye, because all those players are eligible to be signed by playoff contenders right now. I mean, what are they doing? I get it. You're going to bring the kids up, but whoa.
So
why
you
did you?
You do the veterans a favor at that point. If
Fine.
You cut them and you put them on waivers. This is the little known secret. Rather than stay here and play for a non-contender and finish out the season, we'll put you on waivers
because you must be on the roster by the 1st of September to be eligible for the playoffs. That's right. In case you're curious.
So they put them out there, but it was like I saw somebody tweet. I can't remember who it was, and I'm sorry for not giving them the credit, but they said this is the guy that's in your fantasy league that realizes he's not going to make the playoffs and just dumps all his people back into the waiver wire, makes these ridiculous trades to help his buddies, which that happens. There's collusion and everything. But yeah. Now, this is one of the perils of making the lines in September for baseball, because what number you think of that the line should be, you have to add like 20 cents minimum to try to snag a bot or a parallelogram or a rhombus to say, there's value on the Angels today, because ain't nobody betting them the rest of the season.
Bad. Just really bad. And the Angels made a monster mistake with Ohtani, on top of the fact he's hurt now. So now we may have found out about him being hurt.
Went bad.
But I mean, the trade deadline, if you go back and look at the timeline, the trade deadline where they announced they weren't going to trade him was about July 27th, somewhere around there. August 1st was the trade deadline. He got hurt August 3rd.
Terrible.
They could have traded him, and then he would have gotten hurt with somebody else's team. Not on your team. So for all that, not good. Just really not good. The Angels messed this thing up in so many different ways.
Gone any worse?
Yeah, this was as bad, as bungled and botched as a situation as we've seen. Whether it be the trading for Giolito and giving up assets to go and getting guys and now having to give them all for nothing and just kicking them. Say we're done with the season. We'll see you guys in spring training. How do you get fans to go to the park in September? Mike Trout's back on the IL. He's going to get shut down at some point soon.
Yeah,
he's done for the year.
No way.
So there's nothing really good going on right now for the Angels. It's really embarrassing. All right, to football. The Packers were the mystery team. They were the ones trying to trade for Jonathan Taylor. It is still the Dolphins and the Packers. No deal yet. Taylor goes on the PUP list, so he can't play for 4 games now. Does he get traded over the next 5 weeks in your mind?
How desperate is the team going to be that wants him?
They want a first-round pick for him. They won't pay him as a first-round pick, but they want to get a first-round pick.
The Colts got to realize at some point that he ain't going to play. He's not going to play. He's just not. So,
as a bookmaker, though, what do you do with the number here? I know running backs and wideouts don't move needles. I get that. But if he winds up going to the Dolphins, doesn't that change the way they play a lot? It gives them a legitimate running threat to keep Tua healthy.
It certainly helps them a ton. I think you have to account for it, but how everybody, I mean, this would be one of those arguments. Like literally we would just be like, all right, move it a little, move it a lot. How much is it against certain teams? It means more. Yes. Won't move the season win number unless somebody bets it. The season win numbers are tight. We've gone through them. We went through it yesterday. It's going to fall within 1, maybe 2 of that number. I don't think he gets traded. I don't think he does. I would have, as someone who thinks the Packers are going to be better than their season win number would indicate, I think the Packers would have really benefited from having him as well. Then they could use a couple different options and have a backup plan to their running game. I don't know. I don't know how much it's worth. Do you think it would push the needle for you in either place?
I think if he goes to either the Packers or the Dolphins, it makes me feel much more confident in their win total. Yeah. Over. Yeah. Not that it changes individual game numbers, but I think it does make me feel like, okay, both teams have quarterbacks that need a running game to be successful. And if you give them a player like Jonathan Taylor, that's a huge upgrade for both teams to have that type of weapon to run the ball. Now, how long do they sign him for? Whatever. But I think that's a major improvement for both those offenses to get a player like this. How much do they want to give up for him? I don't think anyone's giving up a first-round pick for Jonathan Taylor. They want more than what McCaffrey brought back for the Panthers with the Niners.
That's what I mean. It's only as good as the price is only as good as what someone will pay for it, right? So the Niners wanted McCaffrey. They really wanted McCaffrey. They made it happen. I think his value goes up if the Packers start 3-1 or if one of their running backs get hurt. Obviously, the Packers have a much better running game. Two guys that they can use. Adding Taylor's always good. Miami, it changes the offense. Yes, if they start 0-4, and we went through their schedule yesterday, Miami's schedule is hard to start.
0-4. Whoa.
1-3. I mean, those road games are tough.
They are. 1-3 is possible. Yes, I could
Right.
see 1-3.
They might go, well, we tried. We're not going to trade for him now. You can't play the 4 games. So it's almost like a pitcher in baseball, right? Once you get to the trade deadline and you're adding that piece, that value, you got to go for it and pay. I don't think the value for Jonathan Taylor is a first-round draft choice to anybody right now because they know he's going to sit there.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a tough spot for the Colts. I think he does not get moved. I'm with you on that. The Patriots cut both their backup quarterbacks yesterday, kind of stunning.
Yeah, you were all excited about the Zappy.
I like Zappy a lot. They don't. I mean, it's okay. Zappy did not perform well. Zappy did not develop. Malik Cunningham did not develop. They brought him back both this morning on the practice squad, so they're both not gone. But this is like, prime roster manipulation by the Patriots. This is amazing. The Patriots only have one quarterback and 2 running backs on their 53-man roster. They have 11 linemen. This is like a high school team.
1 quarterback and 2 running backs?
On the 53, yeah. So they've moved everybody to the practice squad. Both quarterbacks, backup running backs, and they have issues with their line. I mean, they have both offensive and defensive line issues. The Patriots are not happy with either, and so they've needed to add these guys to keep them away from the waiver wire and to make sure they're not picked up by somebody else from a depth perspective. So, I mean, we'll see, but that's why they did what they did. They convinced Zappy, they convinced Cunningham to both come back. They'll probably be potentially even active at some point during the season. But Belichick is playing 4-dimensional chess right now with this team, and we'll see who winds up, because I think both guys are still going to be backup quarterbacks. I don't think the Patriots are going to bring anybody in. And the stupid stuff that came out of people's mouths and Twitter accounts yesterday was, here comes Tom. Tom's going to come back. Here he goes.
I wasn't even going to address that, but you brought it up.
Everywhere. I mean, it's so many people.
Oh, you're frozen. Look at your face. Snap your fingers. Haven't done that in a while. Snap your fingers. You're frozen. Hello. Come back. Come back.
That's shut off. That's
Come back. Oh, there you go. You're moving now. Okay.
Because game 1 is Tom Brady night. Patriots hosting the Eagles. Brady comes back in a full uniform, signs a contract. It's not happening.
Stop.
Everyone stop.
Thank you. Please tell them. Please
stop. Everyone needs to stop.
I mean, we need a full timeout. I was going to call it funny. We need a full timeout. Stretch it out. Listen, Patriot fans, let it fucking go.
Agreed.
Okay? Please, just let it go. He's not coming back. All right? He left. He went to Florida. You know, the divorce, everything it would be great. He's not coming home.
That's not why. He's not coming back because he's a minority owner of the Raiders.
It's fine. He ain't coming back to play.
He'd have to divest that before he could ever sign for a contract. So it's not happening. He was just at the Raiders preseason game.
He's not coming back.
No, and that's okay. That's fine to move off of it. I'm comfortable with Mac Jones. Let's go. It's over. It's done. 6 championships is enough. Okay. As I said before, Patriot fans are going to wind up being like Cowboy fans, and it's going to piss me off. I don't need to go back all the time. I don't need to be looking like, 90s football all the time going, remember when? I don't need that. Take it, remember it, and just go forward. And if it doesn't happen again, accept that and be happy that it happened, not constantly living like Jerry Jones, where you're going back and looking for your next Troy Aikman.
There's a lot of people that don't even realize the Patriots were bad. A lot of these Patriot fans, they're going to have to go back to.
There's some of them. Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of people who are casual. I would agree with that. Yeah, I mean,
they are going to be the worst team in the division. I mean,
that ain't it. Well, wait for our Brigade Proxy stories. There's not everyone agrees with that. There are people who are talking about a certain team that no one is talking about being the worst team in the division. We'll get to that a little bit later in the show. Okay, let's talk some gambling news before we do the Circa Sports 32 teams and 31 shows. This is interesting. The federal government, according to a letter that was released yesterday by the Nevada Gaming Control Board, as a response to essentially the Department of Justice telling state gaming operators and regulators that it's going to take, quote, seriously the issue of illegal gambling and will investigate offshore and online illegal casinos. Quote, the department takes seriously the issue of illegal gambling, including illegal online gambling, and continues to successfully investigate and prosecute illegal internet gambling. The FBI works hard to establish and maintain strong partnerships with public and private entities to combat illegal gaming. The department appreciates the adverse illegal gambling has on individuals and communities, and will continue to use all available tools to detect, investigate, and prosecute illegal activity. What does this mean to you right before football season that they're telling the states the FBI is coming?
I think they're just sending out the message that if you are doing anything that might lead them to knock on your door, you've now been warned that your door is on the list. That's the first thing. The second thing is they don't really have a clue what they're looking for. That's the other thing. They
hold on.
Throw out these numbers.
Hold on. The states that have asked the DOJ to investigate are Nevada, Michigan, Colorado, Illinois, Louisiana, Mississippi, and New Jersey. So you think Nevada doesn't know what to look for illegal online gambling?
No, I think Nevada would be the first place that would know. The rest of the states should, if that's their plan to get along, they should. But it's not, those aren't the biggest places this is going on.
Correct.
There's a couple states left off of that list.
Well, no, those are the states who are asking the DOJ to prioritize illegal offshore sports books.
Well, of course, because they all have
legal sports. They all have legal sports books. So they want the illegal market to go away because they have the legal market, which makes perfect sense. We know that New Jersey's been on the forefront of this forever, so it's no shock that New Jersey's on this. New Jersey was the first state to ever blacklist offshore sports books, geo-target it, so in the state you can't actually access them. They went farther than anybody. You can't even, in Jersey, you can't even type in an offshore. They don't let you.
Nothing comes up. Yeah.
So that's so no shock that Jersey's there. But the other states are interesting that they're on this list, that they have sent this letter asking, the letter to Merrick Garland to address the threats of illegal gambling poses that state regulators cannot tackle alone. The letter cited the dangers posed by illegal wagering, and we know what those things are: money laundering and not fair payouts to customers, loss of tax revenue, which is the big one, which are all really interested in doing with.
Right.
But here's the thing. This is my take on this. Someone big is going down this football season.
100%.
This is the FBI and this is the states because it was released by Nevada. Okay. They put this to the DOJ. Here's a letter. Nevada, the DOJ takes it. They issued a letter back and it becomes public. Both are putting it out there in the public space. So to me, this is both states and the FBI telling whoever's doing something that if you're still doing it, I would stop, because some one of you, and there's probably 20,000 of these companies doing this, but one of you will get a perp walk to make an example of during football.
It always happens that way. Somebody always does. It's usually, some operation with a phone room somewhere in a big state, or, always seems like it's New York or, Boston.
They're big population states. Mass is on
where
this list. Where
bookies have been operating for.
Look,
decades.
Florida, Texas, New York. What do those three all have in common? They're the three of the five biggest population states in America.
Right.
So,
and now I think, and we'll get to this in the other story with the Massachusetts stuff, media companies, sports books, and leagues are all intertwined like this. Everybody's partners with everybody. Everybody's knowing what's going on. But do they really know what's going on? That's what this tells me. Maybe they need help finding out what's really going on. And that's where, there's definitely got to be something you feel like coming down the road. Because like you said, Counselor Perrault, they tell you this for a reason. We just don't know what the reason is today.
Yet. Let's see where it goes, because I don't think it's going to stop. Now, Iowa has proposed their gaming commission. They have proposed a way of cracking down on underage gambling. The Iowa Racing and Gaming Commission has proposed new rules in the wake of the sports betting scandal that has gone through college sports. The state regulator has imposed a notice of intended action. So this is not into effect coming up till October, but this could go into effect this football season. They are trying to do the following. Advanced deposit wagering operators shall prominently display the following information on any interface that accepts wagers. Number 1, account sharing is prohibited. Each account holder must not share usernames or passwords with other people. Each wager must be made by the account by only the registered account holder and should not be made on behalf of any individual.
So the problem with that, like the sharing of accounts, like doesn't everybody just share accounts with everything they do with the streaming and the this and the that? Like how are they going to police that?
Correct.
Okay.
Number 2, persons under 21 are prohibited from wagering. We knew this. No person shall attempt to circumvent account setup procedures designed to prohibit wagering from individuals under the age of 21. Registered account holders shall not attempt to assist in placement of any wager by any individual under the age of 21, which is duh. Number 3, any other disclosures as required by the administrator, whatever the hell that means.
What does that mean?
This is like the biggest CYA nonsense because this doesn't stop anything. Like this is really easy. You can, unless there is a camera open when you're betting and you're holding your phone and there's a camera literally watching you place the bet to know that it's actually you, there's no way to know who is using your account. There's no way of using, you could say, well, Matt, if I have an account that has 123 on it, that's my account number, and my phone is XYZ. Well, if account 123 is being used on phone ABC, then that should trip something off. Maybe until you realize that I've got 5 different devices in my house. I have an iPad, I have a computer, I have 2 phones. I mean, it doesn't make any sense because the account is designed to be transferable. That's why you have an account number and it's not tied to one device. If they wanted to do that, they would tie it to a device. They want it to be mobile. That's why you have an account number versus having it being tied to one thing. You can't police this.
You definitely can't police it. But you can tell that if I'm here in Las Vegas logging in, and then all of a sudden I log in Reno,
fine,
still the state of Nevada, but you can be seen in different places
at the same time. Yes, you could do that. Correct. But this is not in Iowa. This was not happening in different even towns. This is all happening in Ames. It was happening in one town with multiple devices using the same account. Now, mom and dad is different because mom and dad's account, mom and dad come to visit. They sign up for an Iowa account. They hand it over to Jimmy. Jimmy's 19. Mom and dad live in Minnesota. Okay. Seemed like that account was used a lot in Iowa. You guys live in Minnesota. How much time are you guys spending in Iowa?
Anyone still wondering why Nevada does it the way they do it, where you have to come in and sign up in person with your account with ID and get put in the system as such? This is you. This is who's going to be on the account. So now at least you're accountable. Everybody likes to make fun of Nevada. Does things so old,
including me.
Blah, 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 blah. There's reasons for all of it. And yet a lot of people are in the space talking about stuff that they don't really understand and saying things that are or are not true.
Right.
This is not really policeable. This is not enforceable. This is going to be, I guess, yes, a CYA. Now the boys in the chat are going crazy.
About?
Auntie, you will need facial recognition. Scan your face to place a wager. Is that even realistically possible?
100%.
Oh,
I do
no.
it on my phone all the time.
What?
Yeah, I log into my phone all the time. I log in. I don't log in with my password. I log in with my face. Stick my face and it goes on. That's how we do it. So yeah, absolutely, he's right. No book wants that.
No.
No book wants that. They don't want to have, no book wants that. But they may be forced to. State might require it. I don't think Auntie's wrong. I don't think he's off at all.
Oh man.
But
well, there you go. You don't have to sign up with William Hill in person. William Hill new app, the Caesars app. You don't have to sign up in person. You can just scan your ID.
In Nevada?
Gorov says this. Yes.
In Nevada?
Gorov said his friends have done it. Yeah, because it's that new app, and I think you can sign up with it.
Wait, whoa.
And scan your ID on your phone.
That's impossible. No, that's impossible.
All right, Gorov, you're wrong. Guys, don't put information in the chat if you're not sure.
Yeah, that can't be right.
I'm looking down.
That cannot be right. That is.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
You just that changed
everything
because everyone could do that. They all could do that. If they wanted to do that, they could do that. What you're saying is the law doesn't exist. This was an operator decision, but we know that there are major companies here in Vegas who have made sure they don't want that.
Yeah.
They have pushed it forever. They're the ones in control of the gaming control board. I'll leave them nameless, but they're the ones who have made sure. Because during the pandemic, why wouldn't we have done that? If the law didn't exist, the technology has been there since 2018.
Yeah, but they didn't want to change it.
Right. No. So what you're saying is the gaming control board changed their rule without telling anyone? No, I don't buy that to be accurate. I would need legitimate proof. I would need someone to actually show me they could do that without signing up. Now, getting back into your account, once you've already had an account, that's a different story. Because remember, the William Hill app became the Caesars app, and you had to go in physically yourself to fix it. So if you've already gone...
If you have a new account, I don't know.
If you had an old account, you've already gone through their homes. Yeah, if you've already gone through it once, as a William Hill customer, meaning you've been in person, you did the whole thing, and you got flipped over to the Caesars account, and all you needed was your ID to get a Caesars on the new Caesars app. Yeah. That's different. We're talking about a brand new account, and you've never had a William Hill account in Nevada. Yeah. I don't buy that. I need to see a lot more that someone had never had a William Hill or Caesars account, and all they did was show their ID and they signed up. That happens in New Jersey. I've done it in New Jersey. I've done it in Massachusetts. I've done it in New Hampshire. So you can do it. It's 100% possible to do it, but Nevada has never allowed that to happen because they do not want big groups. Do not want that to happen.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to do some fact checking.
Ooh.
So
if that's true, that changes a ton before the Super Bowl. I mean, before the game is here, before the big game comes in, oh my, you can mobile sign up.
Yeah, that's what it says. I mean, Gorov said his brand new accounts. Yes. Jimmy Jackson, Matt is wrong. I don't know. Maybe they've done it.
They've changed the law without even telling.
No. There's no law. What are you talking about? It's not the law. It's gaming
in-person sign up.
But if you sign up in person with different states or different companies, you have to go in person. We've always done it that way. They changed the app. Boom. Mobile registration. I don't know. You send in 2 pieces of ID before you can deposit or withdraw. I don't know. I wasn't aware of this. I already had the account. So I don't know. Maybe people will come here and sign up for that.
I mean, this is like, a quick Google hit. You get 5 different stories about you must be in person to gain approval for online sports betting.
Right.
You take a selfie to sign up to confirm that it's you. So it's not really mobile. It must take days to get that to happen.
I don't know. These are the parts of the stuff that until someone tells me, I don't know. I know I had to go in because my account had to be changed over, and I didn't have my email. I probably could have done it all mobily. I don't know.
Okay, so here's an article from April of 23. Changes coming for Nevada Gaming Commission regulations.
Yeah. In the meantime, it's 7-5 White Sox in the top of the fifth and 5-3 Angels in the bottom of the fifth. Phillies are now plus 210.
You want them? You can grab them. There's 24. I'll have to go over what this is because there's 24 state regulations that were changed concerning accounting, security, money transactions, parimutuel betting.
Oh, they had their own things going on. The Caesars William Hill had their own situations going on that had to change a lot of things.
A selfie,
how kiosks were done.
So if this is the case, why in the hell didn't we do this during the pandemic? What a stupid move.
Trying to survive during the pandemic. So it's just the least important thing in the world.
Okay, Tyler just sent this to you. But what do you mean? Yeah. It would have kept books in business. People could have signed up for. I would sign up for
sports.
Yes, there were. There was UFC. There was NASCAR. There was horse racing. There were a lot of sports during the pandemic that I would have bet on. Golf. I would have bet on if I had, and I would have shopped around to different odds and different books, and I would have gotten every book in town if I could mobily sign up with them.
Right.
Yeah. It needs to be finalized at a location. Yes, you got to do it in person. Right. It's not mobile. It's not, right. You have to actually be, before you place a bet, you must be physically in a book. You can start the process to get them to go ahead. Yeah, that's not mobile. That's not a mobile sign up, guys. Okay. That's not
like the other states.
Yeah. I was going to say that's a seismic change in Nevada. If you ever could do it without physically being in a book first, before you place your first wager. So,
but it's more than just the books want you in. I mean, yes, the books that are controlling that want them in, but there's a lot of things that come with coming in that can be checked.
Mm-hmm.
That Nevada knows what can go on without that they want to kind of hold on to.
You're facing the system too. They want you to walk in and they want to go ahead and scan you. And as we all know, when you walk into a casino, they have the right to scan and research you and target you and tag you essentially.
Right.
To know who you are and what you're doing in case something nefarious happens. One more of these. Ontario has banned celebrities from endorsing sports books.
What constitutes a celebrity?
Anybody who's
cartoon characters too, by the way.
That too. Anything, athletes, celebrities, cartoon characters, anybody who it goes into effect February of 2024. It'll be basically you will not see Connor McDavid. You will not see Wayne Gretzky. You won't see Austin Matthews. You will not see anybody.
You see Jamie Foxx.
No.
So movie guys, singers, celebrities, athletes. If you played a sport, you're out. So that cash cow has ended.
Yep.
And cartoon characters.
Professional athletes, celebrities, cartoon characters will no longer be a part of the betting landscape in Ontario, as writes sportshandle.com. Maine has started this. They're the one state that has started to do this, to say, hey, we're going to knock this out. You're not going to allow this to happen. We're not going to have these types of advertisements going after children. According to the AGCO, the Ontario Gaming Control Authority, or whatever O stands for, Alcohol Gaming Commission of Ontario.
Okay.
Children and youth are heavily influenced by athletes and celebrities that they look up to.
Really?
We're therefore increasing measures to protect Ontario's youth by disallowing the use of these influential figures to promote online betting in Ontario. Somewhere, Joe Cool is crying.
I want to know what the standard is to be a celebrity. Are we out? We can't do it, me and you?
Yeah, I would probably say we are probably out. Anybody in the public eye. cannot endorse, promote sports books. We can do reads, you can do advertisements, but you can't put your name and likeness as this is my sports book.
Huh.
But you're right. I mean, where is the
Or
line?
what?
Or what? What do you mean? Or what? Or you're fined, or you lose your license.
The book is.
Yeah.
We didn't know he was a celebrity.
Well, you'd run it by the gaming control board. Does this
You
person
have to run every person that you have now endorsing
Sure.
your book through the gaming control board, the alcohol? What'd you call it? The alcohol and gaming
of Ontario? Yeah. Alcohol and Gaming Commission.
I got to text them or call them every time. Hey, we're talking to this guy. He's got like 50,000 followers on Twitter. Is he okay? How does this work?
It kills everything. No more endorsements. Can't endorse alcohol. Can't endorse cigarettes.
So next step is no more sports gambling advertising, period.
Well, not next step. It's how you advertise. It's what you advertise. The same way you advertise cigarettes right now. You can see a cigarette ad.
They're partners with every league and team in what the. We can run
this is Ontario. This is not here. This is not here yet. Okay. The question is, when does this come here? It's coming here. Yeah.
It's 100% coming, but we got the signage all around.
Yep.
In Maple Leaf Gardens.
But that's
whatever
fine.
They call that building. Montreal Forum. That's okay.
Yes.
We can't have a guy who played for them 30 years ago
do it.
Say,
this
know
is
what?
my book.
You should bet at BetMGM.
Yeah. I'm okay with the cartoon thing being done. I mean, I'm down with that. Get rid of the cartoon stuff. That's not cool. Don't like that.
Right. Like it's
common sense stuff there. But like, active play. My whole thing is that I don't mind former players. I don't like active players doing it. Active players should not be allowed to endorse sports gambling.
Somebody that should endorse sports betting or sports books should probably have been in a sports book at one point in their life.
Huh? What?
Shouldn't somebody, if you're going to endorse it, like just zero credibility? It doesn't matter.
Don't need it. No.
Okay. So it's okay. Like, so that sells someone on using the product because
if
Jamie Foxx said it.
Yeah. If I'm doing an endorsement for somebody for a liquor brand and I haven't really, I'm a whiskey guy, but I'm endorsing a vodka. Who cares? It doesn't matter if you use it or not. It doesn't. The actual use of the product doesn't matter. You're after the audience that person brings, not the actual use of it.
And that's a tried and true method of advertising.
100% for 100 to 200 years. Yes.
Inside jobs. Those work. I don't know.
They work. Sometimes they work. I mean, look, there's been campaigns that we are responsible for, gigantic growth of a product. I mean, Prime, okay? Prime, my daughter knows what Prime is. She wanted to try it in Boston.
What is Prime?
She has no clue who Jake Paul is, but that's Jake Paul's Gatorade competitor.
She wanted to try because she saw Jake Paul say it?
She saw ads on YouTube for it everywhere. It wasn't just Jake Paul. It was other people who on the YouTube world that were endorsing drinking Prime. She's like, I want to try Prime. I was like, why? She's like, I saw it on YouTube Shorts. I was like, you should recognize what that is. That's advertising. That's what they're doing. Right. They're trying to convince you to do something. And she was like, huh,
right.
That's interesting. I guess I didn't think about that. I was like, yeah, you never would have known what Prime is. I don't know if Jake Paul drinks Prime. I don't really care, but some people do.
Well, I don't think it works. And I think it is disingenuous. And,
it works.
I just don't know how
it works.
I don't know how it didn't help the sportsbook business. That's why they're stopping it.
I think it helps.
No one signed up for a sportsbook business because of a particular commercial. Like Wayne Gretzky didn't. Wayne Gretzky got someone customers.
The brain doesn't work like that. The human brain does not work like that. There is no one-to-one connection to I see Jamie Foxx, I bet at BetMGM. That's not how the brain works. The brain works with association, where you're more inclined to bet at BetMGM over a different sports book because you like Jamie Foxx and you don't even realize your brain's operating that way. You're more inclined.
Did you go to neurosurgeons?
No, it's just I'm in advertising. Dave, I've been in advertising for over 20 years. I've done advertising for over 20 years. I can tell you the human brain doesn't work like that. People don't remember why they buy stuff. They buy it because it's all subconscious. It's where your brain associates things.
Jeez.
So this is not about sports gambling advertising. Is not about, I see, a comedian, so I bet at that book. It's not how it works. It's about repetition over and over again and associating that brand with that person. And I like that person, so I'm going to like that brand without even having a connection. And so when I have a choice.
So is the same thing going to take effect with either people that nobody knows talking about sports books over and over and over?
No, because no one's going to be hired to do that. They'll just have static ads. They won't do TV advertisements in that way.
Oh.
Or they'll be banned from TV. I mean, you can't advertise cigarettes on TV. Eventually, I think sports betting advertisements on TV will go away. I don't think you'll be able to advertise sports betting on TV.
Yeah, it's funny.
It'll be like cigarettes.
I remember saying that when it started, going, this is all going to end. This is just like the fantasy ads.
Right.
But they came up and blasted it in front of everybody. And it was like, finally, somebody said, what are you guys doing?
Right.
And they figured out a way to say fantasy was gambling or not gambling, and we got to stop it and blah, blah, stop.
But now you have to watch the way it's doing, because now the DFS sites that are operating as sports gambling sites, they're the ones who have replaced the DFS advertising.
Correct.
In this football season, in this season, you're going to see a ton of them because they're all lined up right now because they feel like the clock is ticking on their business.
Correct. This is it. This is the last season for that, because they're going to go after it. In Canada, they went after you can't have celebrities doing it. You can advertise, but you can't have celebrities, athletes, cartoon characters, and whoever else makes the list. Now what's next? I think they'd have to just stop the ads. That's the way I see it.
I don't know I think they'll stop the TV ads or the radio ads.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll stop the billboard advertisements.
Oh,
the subway advertisements. Yeah. That stuff will all the print ad won't stop. Just like cigarettes can do print ads, you can't do TV ads. The more influential advertisements, the enticements.
Right.
Those will stop at some point in the near future. All right, time now for 32 teams in 31 shows. Coming down to the end here, we're into the top 10 with the Baltimore Ravens, the Circa Sports team of the day. You guys can still sign up for Circa Million and Circa Survivor all the way up until Saturday, September the 9th. That's the cutoff dates for both contests. We'll give you an updated number tomorrow because we're going down there after the show. Got someone coming to town to sign up.
We do.
Circasports.com for more information. $8 million available for Survivor. $6 million available for Circa Millions. $1 million first place prize for that. $8 million on the table for Survivor. Could be 1, 2, 3. We'll see how many people make it all the way to the end through 20 weeks for Survivor, 18 weeks for Circa Million. For more information, log on to circasports.com. Team of the day, the Baltimore Ravens. And this is going to be fun because Dave hates the Ravens. I like the Ravens. I bet them already to go to the AFC to win the championship, but I think they'll go to the AFC championship game here. I like this offense. I like this team. Last year, they went 10-7. Win total, 10.5. Under juiced at -125 at most books.
Schedule.
Why? Well, reason to be excited. Lamar Jackson, new weapons. Zay Jones, Boston College first-round pick. They grabbed him. New offense being run by Todd Monken. Defense should be very, very good. Reasons to be concerned. The division is going to be very good.
Yes.
And the Ravens' schedule is not going to be easy for them at all.
You left off one other thing, reasons to be concerned.
What's that? That this guy is part of their team? That's why?
Sure.
Should you be mad about that guy?
No. You should be worried about Kenny Pickett's, Najee, the Steelers. Should be worried about all that. I mean, I don't know how worried they are about the Browns. They should be worried about the Bengals. The division is going to be hard. Let's welcome Manny's Pub.
What's up?
They're all watching the show live. And Manny's son, Sammy, who's normally on the road as a truck driver, is here today. They're watching the show Wednesdays at Manny's with the BVB up on the screens.
Love it.
So, we got to talk about the Ravens, boys. It's not personal. I mean, we only use words that you can't really say on the TV too much when we talk about the Ravens, but we talk better about the Ravens than we do about the Browns. What's his schedule? What do you got here? You bet this team to win the AFC. That was rude.
11-1.
You are a jinx, so
11-1.
hopefully that will work.
What are you talking about? We're not going to run this joke for much longer. I'm not a jinx. This is nonsense.
People say that you are.
I don't care what they say of are or not. People say a lot of dumb stuff that's not true. Did that game end? Or, delay?
Game?
What's going on with the Orioles game? That game over?
7-5.
Final?
7-5. No, sixth inning. You got a lot of time left. Don't worry.
Why is it? It's not up. You can't bet live on it right now at FanDuel.
Hold on.
It's closed.
Why?
It says. I don't know.
What did you do? You closed the whole
it.
game? You shut the whole game down?
Is there a rain delay going on?
No. Oh, it's off the.
What happened?
Oh boy. Somebody's running around the offices right now going, "Where's the game?" Oh boy.
The game is off the board. They pulled the Orioles game.
It's
off
not
the board
up right now.
Why would that happen in the sixth inning?
Live feed stopped. Oh. I don't know. Maybe the guy in Malta took a break. I don't know. I know that somebody right now is sending emails or they're on the phone. And it's tomorrow morning in Malta. It's the middle of the night. They're probably sleeping. Nobody knows why the live feed is down. This is bad news for the people. Oh my
Schwarber
gosh.
needs to get going here. What's going on with Kyle Schwarber? My goodness gracious.
Focus on the schedule, please.
Okay.
Get back here.
10.5 wins. They open up against Houston. They're winning that game. Survivor play, by the way. Looking for your first survivor play, take the Ravens week 1.
You want to use them this early?
Yes. Get a W. Get a guaranteed W. They're winning that game out of the gates.
Yes.
At Cincinnati.
I'll say lose.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll
They'll
agree.
split. Like they'll win the home game.
Home and home. Yep, I agree with that.
They'll split. Okay.
Indianapolis.
Win.
Yep. At Cleveland.
Win.
Lost to Pittsburgh.
Oh, that was nice of you.
No, I just think they'll go 1-1 there on the
They're
road.
going to lose. Oh, the at Cleveland, at Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. I got 3 wins.
Me too.
Houston,
Home for Tennessee.
Cleveland.
Although that game's overseas, right? The Tennessee game. Yeah,
Tennessee, yeah.
That's
That's a
overseas.
win. Don't matter. They can play that game on Mars. They're winning.
Agreed. Detroit.
Home?
Yep. Win.
At
Arizona.
Strange things happen
Win.
in the desert, but they're not losing that game. 6.
Seattle. Home.
Win. 7.
Cleveland. Home. Win.
I guess 8.
Cincinnati. Home. Win.
9.
At the Chargers.
Nope.
Yeah, I'll give you a loss there too before the bye week. Home for the Rams.
Win.
At Jacksonville.
Damn it, they could win this game too. I'm rooting for that one to lose. I'll stay with 10.
To win. At San Francisco.
Lose.
Loss. Home for Miami.
Damn it. Win. 11.
Okay. And then does the Pittsburgh game matter or not? I have 12. It could be a 13-4 year.
Oh, it's annoying as hell what you just did there. Damn it. This team's going to win a lot of games.
So home games are Houston,
Frozen again. Got to close that site. The whole thing's happening.
There's no site. I'm literally nothing but FanDuel. So it's Houston, Indianapolis. Tennessee is a home game, but it's overseas. Detroit, Seattle, Browns, Bengals, Rams, Dolphins, Steelers. It's a very winnable.
9 home games. 1, 2,
It's
3,
8.
4,
9 is the
5,
game,
6,
game
7,
overseas.
8, 9, 10. Yeah, they have 9 home games with the one overseas doesn't even count.
Okay, right.
1,
all right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10.
Wow.
9 home games, 1 overseas,
Damn, this is
7 road games.
Oh, jeez.
So that's my point. They could be the 1 seed. This is why I bet this at 11-1.
You're right.
So
It pains me to even say it, but you're right.
So if they have an 11-1 bet, Just need them to get one win, and then you can start hedging off of it.
It's a fair point. It's really annoying. Actually,
What's
just thinking
the
about this.
bottom?
Well, the bottom is Lamar's hurt and everything
Yes.
goes bad again.
7. I think 7's the bottom.
Oh, that's too low. I mean, look at the schedule. 8. What's this? What's the number? 10.5?
Yeah, if Lamar is not there.
Is this the second most highest win total in the whole AFC?
11.5's the high. So yeah.
I end up picking the Ravens like how many times did we pick the Ravens when we did the contest? I mean, I like the Ravens as far as a football team and a side. We used to go in with them all the time in the book. Like they play for 2 decades now that just play great defense, and now they have Lamar on a revenge tour a little bit.
Yes, that's the thing. Weapons. They've got the best catching tight end in football, Mark Andrews. They've got 2 if Beckham comes back and is even remotely productive, they got weapons on the wideouts. Good offensive line. J.K. Dobbins needs to have a good year. He needs to get going. Okay. They invested that they thought he was going to be Najee. They thought they were going to get that type of productivity out of him. They haven't. So they need J.K. Dobbins to have a breakout year.
The Phillies just took the lead 6-5. By the way, they're minus 480.
Here we go.
And the White Sox game is back up. It's 9-5 White Sox. Now 18.5 is the total.
All right. So I just need the Phillies to win that game. And Phillies to win 1-1's fine. I'm good with that.
That's fine.
Plus money. It's a productive afternoon.
All right, boys and girls in the chat. We've got our influx of people. It's noon. Welcome. Those of you that are just joining the show or catching up, whatever you're doing, thank you for coming in. Hit the like button. Please hit the thumb. Somebody's keeping track. We have half the people that are here have not hit the like button. So let's put it to the test. Let's get over 55 likes or something right now if we can. Good. But please put your season win total for the Baltimore Ravens in the chat right now.
11.
Over to under to
over
10.5.
Over 11, which is crazy.
That's the number.
11-6 seems so like that's 6 losses. That seems like a lot.
I think it's 10, but I hope it's 10 because I think the Steelers can get 10, maybe even 11.
The whole division could wind up.
The whole division's not going to be over 500. Okay. Stop. How does everybody go over 500?
The Browns could be 9-8. Yeah, that's possible. They could go 9-8. It's not crazy.
Over to not one person is putting under. Jimmy Jack, I see you. 4Ks, Jimmy Jack.
Time for your ears. Watch out, everybody. Here we go. Service NFL Pro Football Story of the Day. We'll sign up. Stewart's in town. He's been very excited about being with us for the Brigade Proxy Service. We'll see him here in an hour and a half down at Circa to sign him up for the Million Survivor. Looking forward to seeing him in person for what's going on.
Yes.
You guys can text us. If you're coming to town, please send a text message at 702-570-8255. That is 702-570-TALK. Is the text line to get in touch. A bunch of you have been emailing, which brigadeproxy@gmail.com. Phenomenal. It's on the business card. You can do that. But the instant reaction is a text because that goes to multiple people.
Right.
The email comes to multiple people too, but we don't always check it as much as we text the text message. Text comes instantaneously. We can get you booked and ready to go here. Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Appointments right now, but we'll be there all weekend for you guys to sign you up here for the Brigade Proxy. When do the Breadmen get in town?
Breadmen get to town. Raymaker Lou will be here 1 week from today. He put the GIF out with the Roethlisberger tweet. 7 days. I'll be in Vegas.
Oh, so they're coming in for week 1 of the NFL.
Yes, sir.
Very cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very cool.
Planning on watching the games somewhere, I believe, and some other chicanery. These
Pro Football Focus put this out today.
Why?
No one's talking about it. Could the Bills finish last in the AFC East?
How'd this even make the rundown?
You know that Bill Belichick has only come in last place in the AFC East one time?
Ever?
His first year coaching the Patriots. The only time
Ever?
The only time he's ever come in last place. So he says it's a bit disingenuous to think the Patriots are going to be the worst team in the division because they haven't been for over, 20 years? So now, where are the Jets? Where are the Dolphins? And where are the Bills? Because if you cross the Patriots off, they're not going to be the worst team in the division. Somebody else is going to be. Okay. Are we all just assuming the Bills are not going to have a fall from grace?
I don't even like the way this topic is turned.
I'm just telling you. I've been saying this
The
all
Patriots are going to be
offseason.
the worst team in the division.
I don't
No,
think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be. No. Could be the Dolphins, could be the Jets, could be the Bills, but the NFL, the coin turns so quickly in the NFL.
does it ever?
And we've been we're just assuming the Bills are going to be right there, that they're going to the window hasn't closed, that there's no problems in the clubhouse, there's no
It's fine.
issues with the football. Everything's going to be hunky-dory. They still can't run the football. The quarterback still turns the ball over a ton. Stephon Diggs is really angry. He may pull the whole team up. You got an Antonio Brown situation on their hands.
Oh,
They're good. They're not going to have Von Miller's not going to be there for the first 4 games. Just interesting. Florio, I don't think Florio's off by floating it. I really don't.
So is it the Jets?
No, it could be the Bills.
No, as far as the best team.
Oh, it could be. I mean, if everything goes right,
I want it to be the Dolphins.
it could be the Dolphins too.
Could the
Tua
Dolphins be
stays
the
healthy.
worst team in the division?
If Tua gets hurt,
One time? That's it? Oh, do we have to fact check this? This is one time?
it's in the skit. Read the article I sent you. It's in the article.
My God.
It's in the article. It's kind of crazy, but you stop and go, wait, really? But that's 100% true. It hasn't happened. Belichick doesn't do it. Doesn't finish last. The Patriots haven't finished in last place in the AFC East since Belichick's first season in 2000. It's been 23 years.
That is an incredible stat. All right. So we'll ask the chat right now. This is what we do as we continue to do the show. The chat gets very interactive. Who finishes last in the AFC East? Right now, first blush, I think most people say New England, but damn, you hit me with that stat. That's only happened one time in 22 years. I don't like the sounds of that. He had a guy named Tom Brady, though, playing quarterback. Now he's got Mac Jones.
He didn't even come in last place when Matt Castle was the quarterback.
That was one of his best coaching jobs ever.
He hasn't come in last place with Mac Jones. Mac Jones has been the quarterback, hasn't come in last place.
Wow.
He
The
doesn't do
first 3 responses are Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. There's no Bills. There's no Bills.
So there you go. Well, maybe we'll see. But that's what Florio's talking about. That no one's talking about at the moment. And Sean McDermott's taking over the defense. You know, it's a very interesting time right now for the Bills and everybody. On paper, according to Florio, the Bills are currently the 3rd best team in the division.
According to Florio, on paper,
So
the 3rd best team behind both the Jets and
the Dolphins.
the Dolphins.
Yeah. And the Patriots always play well in Buffalo.
Right. And
So-
they always play Buffalo tough in New England.
Oh, yeah. 100%. So, I mean, like if they play them tough and they have if they both go 9-8 and the Patriots have the tiebreaker over the Bills are in last place. The Patriots aren't. So just something to consider.
Not one person put the Bills, by the way.
Tonight, we have history trying to be made in Lincoln, Nebraska.
This is crazy to me. You've seen this. This is incredible.
I've seen the volleyball. Nebraska aiming for women's attendance record with a game tonight instead of Memorial Stadium. So what they are doing is that they are trying to have 95,000 people present tonight to watch 2 women's volleyball games. Now, living in Omaha, one of the most incredible things that I experienced was when I went there and I realized that the girls who are athletes do not play anything but volleyball.
Right.
John Cook is an incredible coach. He has built a culture, not just a culture in the Nebraska University of. He's built the culture statewide. The most popular female athletes in the state are not the basketball players, are not the softball players. They are the volleyball players. They are celebrities when they walk around town. They are rock stars in Lincoln. The team sells out their home football games. But number 2, the quickest ticket to go, women's volleyball home games.
You ever watch one when you were there?
Oh my God, yes. In person, NCAA tournament games. It's awesome.
It's so much fun. Like Penn State was really good at women's volleyball when I was there. I had Russ Rose as a bowling teacher. So I would go and, watch. I went to every sport when I was there. Women's volleyball is electric in person with a crowd.
Is awesome.
And a really good team. It's fantastic. This is in a football stadium, Perrault.
You're not going to be. It's simply just to say you were there. You're not going to be able to see anything.
Right. Okay.
I've seen the overhead drone shots of it. It's remarkable. I should have grabbed a picture of it. I apologize. I didn't do that, but it's amazing to watch. It's going to be like literally the volleyball court is all the way tucked to the far side. It's on like the 20-yard line.
Oh, okay.
At Memorial Stadium.
Okay.
And so you have like a warm-up area. You've got other practice stuff going on, and then the game going on as is. You're not going to be able to see anything. But they think the current record is 91,000. World record, 91,000. They're going for 95,000 tonight.
I hope they get it.
They're going to get it. Anyone and everyone is going to this. This becomes the thing to do in Nebraska. On like the joke is, it's not even a joke, but it's the truth. On game days, Lincoln, Nebraska, the stadium becomes the 3rd biggest city in the state.
Same thing. They put that graphic up at Penn State, and the crowd goes nuts every single time.
So it's Omaha, Lincoln, Memorial Stadium becomes the 3rd biggest. Is this going to be
on national television anywhere?
I think it is on TV. Yeah,
like hopefully on the Big Ten Network or something, because Kendall Littleton-Sig has started her athletic career with volleyball. Like we are getting immersed in what club options are available and all this other stuff. And she's like, I'm 9. I just want to play.
Right.
But she's gravitating towards it, and she's growing like a weed. She's very tall, but she likes it. So I want to show her this and say, look at this. Like 100%, if this was anywhere close, we'd be going. 100%.
So that's it right there.
Look at that.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
Oh, it's going to be 95,000 people. You think they're going to be a little bit nervous? That's a lot of people to play in front of.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people. I mean, it's a cupcake game, though. They're going to kill them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not going to be like a real. I mean, they're playing Nebraska Omaha. They're playing their little sister. They're going to kick the crap out of them.
Ew.
This is what they do. This is an exhibition game in a lot of ways. Nebraska is not going to be remotely threatened. In 1999, 90,185 people packed the Rose Bowl to watch the World Cup final between USA and China. Ooh. The next world record is a world record of 91,648. That was when Barcelona hosted Wolfsburg last April for the Champions League match. Trev Alberts, the AD of Nebraska, said, yes, I believe we will get to that goal. I think the number is going to be closer to 95,000.
CBW just came in the chat, said it's confirmed. It's on the Big Ten Network tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern,
cool.
5 o'clock Pacific.
If it's windy, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You got to adjust for the wind.
So that's uh-oh.
Does that stadium get windy?
Does it ever? Oh, yes. So the hope is no wind. It's not a windy night tonight, because if it is windy, that is really going to be a problem.
Going to have to play anyway. I mean, we're going to play. If it ain't raining, we're playing.
There's no debating you're playing, but man, it's 10-5. White Sox are killing the Orioles. That's a loss. That's too bad. But I got plus 130 on the Phillies, so I need one more run out of the Phillies here in the bottom of the 7th, 8th, most likely to get that. I need that run line to come in for the Phillies. 6-5 currently the lead there. All right, Sports Grid, thank you for being here. We appreciate you guys as always. We'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time for a Thursday's BVB with a lot of football to get into tomorrow. Looking forward to the show tomorrow. For you guys who are on YouTube and Twitter, do not move. You guys are getting bonus time. Okay. And we go right into the other loud one as we into it. Time for Better to Book It. Only one today for Better to Book It. Astros -1.5 runs run line against the Red Sox, +118.
You buried this team yesterday.
Yeah, they're dead. They're gonna get killed
Play
tonight.
taps for them.
They're gonna get killed tonight. They got killed last night.
Play
6
the
to
taps. It's over.
6-2 last night. They're gonna get killed tonight.
Kind of played out just like we said too. I don't want to. We don't have to pat ourselves on the back when we get things right.
You like the Red Sox in the under. You said Red Sox under last night. It was Astros in the under last night.
I know, but the game played out as we described, and you did say because I like Bello. Bello gave up 2 runs,
Pulled him in the 4th inning or 5th inning.
and then they
Four
got
and a third. Yanked him 4 and a third.
You're like you had said it. Like you're going to have to get at least 9 outs, if not more, from this bullpen, and that's not going to be good. And
Nope.
that's where it all went bad.
Yep.
Yeah,
And same thing happened tonight.
under.
It's Framber. Framber's lost 3 straight starts. It's crazy.
Who's pitching for
Crawford. 3-1 final, 4-1 final, somewhere in that range. Don't mind the under. The Red Sox bullpen scares me because the Red Sox bullpen can give up 10 runs. You could lose the game.
Scary. Wow.
You could lose 10-1 tonight. That's why I'm not betting the under.
I think this is a bet. This is Framber on the road, so we get all 9 at bats, and if we get to the bullpen relatively early, they cover. If Crawford goes and pitches a good game, may have to sweat it. It's only -135. What is going on?
They think the Red Sox are going to have to win the game. A lot of pressure on them.
Live again.
Yeah, that's what they think. But I don't agree.
I don't know.
I don't agree. Bonus time. Kevin Whitrock threw this out here. There's two questions to get into.
Excellent.
Now.
Okay.
First one is, which FBS team is on upset alert this weekend against an FCS team? You have to exclude Iowa State from this topic. Because that's what I would say. I would put Iowa State.
Oh,
I would say Iowa State against Northern Iowa.
the first thought was it that Iowa State, Northern Iowa?
But
so what are the examples, sir?
Let's see. So we're going to Saturday. FCS. Gosh. Sam Houston State, BYU plays Sam Houston State, Florida A&M and Jackson State. They're playing each other. There's not that many games on FCS against FBS schools. There's a lot of good FBS versus FBS games.
Is Tulane, South Alabama an option?
Tulane's a top 10 team. And South Alabama is no, they're FBS. That's not FCS.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. Oh, I could be wrong with that. I thought South Alabama moved
Oh.
up. They were when I was there, but I thought they moved up. They FCS or FBS? Yeah, they are FCS. Okay, so that no. They're in the Sun Belt. No, they're FBS. They moved up, so that doesn't count.
I can't. I mean, I used to just say D1.
Well,
I can't keep track of.
D1, D1 AA.
FBS, it's all bullshit to me anyway.
True. I mean, there's not that many. It's crazy. Like, I mean, there's gosh, there really isn't that many.
Colgate will scare.
Yeah, there's
Colgate will scare Syracuse CBW.
I don't mind that. No, I agree with that. That's a good
He
point.
said, don't say that. I just said it, CBW. Sorry.
I think that's possible. Yeah. That's definitely possible. Syracuse is horrible. Yeah, I could see that. 100% I could see that. Yeah, FanDuel does this whole like featured thing. Just give me all the games. I don't want like your featured games.
This is brutal.
Stupid.
It's
just give me
brutal.
I don't need you to tell me what you think is a big game.
Southern Utah, Arizona State. Is that one?
It is.
I don't know.
I don't know a lick about Southern Utah.
That's Clown MB3 said that one. Jade Albet said Southern Alabama is FBS. Okay. ASU starting acute.
How about Illinois,
true freshman.
Eastern Illinois against Indiana State?
Eastern Illinois against who?
Indiana State.
The Sycamores have a football team?
They do. They play in the Valley.
Didn't even know that. UNLV and Bryant? Is that a possibility?
Yes, that is actually a possibility.
Oh,
I've seen
no.
people who have said that
Bryant's going to beat UNLV
at an offense. Yes, I saw that earlier this summer. People have said that that's a game to watch out for. That bet the over in that game.
You want to go to the game? There'll be nobody there.
Not really. Not
Saturday afternoon.
Not particularly. South Dakota against Missouri.
Damn.
That's an FCS power against an SEC school.
What about ODU? Our man Mikey Awesome with the wrench.
Oh.
How about a kid that I coached softball for a long, long time? Just accepted she landed in ODU. She's going to Old Dominion to play
Nice.
softball. Lala. Yeah. So if Mikey Awesome, if you go to a softball game, find Cynthia, call her Lala and say you're good friends with Coach Dave. It'll blow her mind. But yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were sitting at dinner last night and Kylie goes, "Do you know where Old Dominion is?"
You're like, wait, what?
And I said, "Well, yes, I do. Why?" She's like, "Lala is going there to go to college this year. She'll play softball." I said, "What?" I said, "Oh man, we got a place to stay. We could go watch her." We got to kind of pick us up at the airport.
That's true. That would be phenomenal. So yeah. All right. And then one more. We've got
Big
Framber
business
has
had
one
one,
right.
didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Bonus time question. Teams who don't play starters in the preseason, like the Rams, Broncos, Bengals, Cowboys, all lost in week 1 last year. Do you use starter burn time in week 1 for capping?
What is starter burn time? What does that mean?
Do they need week 1 to get into the rhythm of things? They don't play in the preseason and they use week 1 to get ready to get into the season. Does that concern you?
This was always a topic of debate. Now the numbers come up for week 1 before the draft. So now the numbers for week 1 are so different. And we have a week off of even remotely seeing anything to move a number.
Right.
The 3-game preseason has changed a lot of the week 1 push or handicap.
Right.
I think, to answer your question, it's different for everyone. I don't put much stock in it.
I think matchups matter. Who are they playing? Who are they playing in week 1? I'm more concerned about the opponent than I am about playing time. If it's a veteran quarterback like Dak Prescott, I'm not really worried about him not performing well because he didn't take preseason snaps.
Correct.
If it's a fragile quarterback like Kyler Murray, not playing obviously, but somebody like that who is young in his career and fragile, okay, maybe I would think about it and go, that might be something to keep into account. But I don't think like more and more teams are saying the preseason's bullshit. Don't play anybody. Forget it. Like they're taking way more of an account onto the joint practices. That's more important now. It's way more important to the coaches to have your guys playing in the joint practices than they are in the preseason games.
Yes.
Those are just the, for fun stuff.
Yeah. I can't stand the first 2 or 3 weeks of the NFL.
Why?
Handicapping wise. It's because I feel like it's a glorified preseason. Like there's a lot of unknowns. Teams look so different in September than they end up looking even in October and going forward. That I watch the games, but with a different it looks like they're working things out now more than ever. And there's 2 or 3 teams that come out like clicking and everything is running smooth. So 3 preseason games, less practice time than ever, and then they don't tackle them. Like the thing I'm looking for in the beginning is overs. Like you're just trying to find the games where there's going to be overs. And I used to want to look for unders. That's done with all the lack of practice and the lack of tackling, I'm looking for overs in the first couple of weeks.
Interesting.
Not even listening to me.
Yeah, I am.
Right. No, you're not. What tab are you reading right now? Look at you, so focused right now.
I'm just making sure we got everything before we do everything about today. Yeah. By the way, Jimmy Jack, Syracuse being better than UMass is not something I'd brag about. It's not exactly something I would be like pounding my chest going, Syracuse is better than UMass. Great. So my team won one game and I thought they won the Super Bowl. So give you an idea.
We're so excited.
The expectations for UMass are not exactly high. You play in a much better conference. In fact, you guys have a conference. UMass is independent. They got kicked out of the last conference they were in because they sucked so bad.
Oh boy.
True story. Favorite thing about today is what?
Going to meet Stewart. Right? We're going to meet Stewart. I can't wait. The guy had a procedure done. He's just this, that, whatever. And he's beyond excited to come here and say hello to us, sign up for the contest, have his football fix for the season. So that and the Michael Jackson video that I tweeted today, singing Who's Loving Who. It was in 1969. Just watching a kid do something that most grown-ups can only dream of doing, it somehow popped in my feed today, and I'm like, man, he got the coolest hat on, a purple suit, him and his brothers stepping and dancing, and he's singing. I must have watched that video along with the Gorov video at least 20 times this morning. It's so good.
It's very, very good. Yeah, I'm psyched to see our friend Stewart today. That's always going to be fun whenever we get someone who's been wanting to meet us and hang out and get a picture for a while. So we're looking forward to doing that. It's day 2 for me for school. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be a rough day though, Dave, when UNLV just sent out a traffic alert. I guess there's a massive problem going on at the strip at the moment for traffic. So just a heads up.
Just texted me and
she did.
Well, she's home now, but
okay.
She's got to drive down there every day. It's going to be, I just don't know what's going on with our city.
So it was a police services are on the scene of an unscheduled impact event, affecting traffic near Tropicana and University Center. There's no threat to campus, but avoid the area due to possible traffic congestion. Is there like a politician here? Is there, massive?
No, they probably just put up the cones to put down some more asphalt for this race that's coming in November.
That everybody hates. Everybody hates. It's absolutely awesome. So we'll go barricade our way through that and hopefully get down the circuit. Have no problems. He's Dave. I'm Matt. We'll talk to you tomorrow for Thursday.